tenure so far for Tony Elliott with all the off-the-stuff struggles and challenges. But here we go on a beautiful day for football in Charlottesville. Duke Blue Devils called tails, and it did not fail, so they deferred, and Virginia will start on offense. And that will bring the freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida, Anthony Colandrea, onto the field. It's his 5th start, Wes, and he's already got more passing yards and more touchdowns than any freshman in Virginia football history.
Yeah, he's 7th among FBS freshman quarterbacks in passing yards, 11th in passing touchdowns, and get this, his 13.8 yards per completion would be 2nd in the ACC if he qualified with enough games, but he doesn't.
First handoff goes to Kobe Pace, and he will burst up the middle, picks up the first down on the opening snap before Jalen Stinson and Chandler Rivers bring him down. Good start for the Wahoo offense.
Oh, no doubt about it, and that's what Coach talked about when you talk about Tony Elliott saying the running backs, they need to break more tackles. They really want to get this run game open. That is perfect for what the Virginia Cavaliers and this coaching staff want to see.
Chatting with Des Kitchings, the offensive coordinator, yesterday. He said he expects Kobe Pace to have a big game today. Picks up 13 on the first tote.
You couldn't ask for more. Him coming over for Clemson with a lot of expectations. Hasn't quite performed up to what many would have thought coming here. But hey, he's off to a good start today. That's all you can ask for is what's happening right now.
Malik Washington in motion. Pace up the middle once again. And this time he runs into the outstretched arms of Jeremiah Lewis.
He's hitting the hole pretty tough to start this football game. Coach Elliott also told us how he was getting in the back's ear this week, telling them how much harder he wanted them to run, how much he needed them. It looks like early on that they got the message. They're hitting the hole hard.
Nice sweatshirt, Tony. It is Heroes Appreciation Day, honoring military members and first responders here at Scott Stadium. First flag of the game. Here's Stuart Mullins.
Full start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Ty Furnish, the right guard, costs the Cavaliers 5.
Big fella, got to stay onside, man. You hate those. Those can always put a damper on a drive. We'll see. Hopefully they can overcome that penalty.
2nd and 12. Quick little shovel dish to the star. And Malik Washington will set up 3rd down and 10. Let's take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by Walmart. Walmart doesn't just have everything for the holidays. We have your thing. Welcome to your Walmart.
The impact players here, Malik Washington and Malachi Fields, maybe the best receiving duo you never heard of. Malik Washington is 2nd in the nation in receiving yards and receptions, and Malachi Fields is 5th in the ACC in receiving yards and 5th in receptions. These guys are a problem out there on those edges and in the slot.
They're a dynamic duo, and we'll see if they can be a problem on 3rd down. Colandrea swings it out of the backfield, and it's dropped. Intended for Hollins, and here comes the punt team.
That was a tough one right there. Not what you want to see on 3rd down. He tries to check it down to the back. He's making the right play, but he wasn't ready for it. And I think even if he would have caught that, he would have felt some pain right there, man, because that DB was bearing down on him.
So here's Daniel Sparks. Getting ready to send it to Jalen Calhoun, who's standing at his own 19-yard line. End over end punt, bounces at the 25, picked up at the 19, and Calhoun gets it across the 20 and no further than that. James Jackson with a special teams tackle. Riley Leonard had surgery this week. Mike Elko said he's questionable for Duke's bowl game. So it's Grayson's offense today, and in his 3rd career start, man, he showed some things in the second half last week against the Tar Heels.
He definitely did, and Duke is the only team in the country to start 3 different quarterbacks, and all 3 of them have won games. They get their guys ready to go. Grayson was no different last week, man. He really came of age, so we'll see what he's got today.
Jordan Waters begins the game in the backfield. for Kevin John's offense. Heavy run offense early last week, but to the air, and it's Jordan Moore, who had 3 touchdowns against Carolina last Saturday. He's got the 4-yard gain on first down. Today's impact players brought to you by Walmart. And Duke has some impact players. Their first name usually starts with J.
Jordan Waters, man, gotta love him. 2nd in the league in rushing touchdowns and 8th in rushing yards. And then you look at Jalen Calhoun. I'm ready for him to break out. Almost 1,000 all-purpose yards last year. This season, 519 yards and 37 receptions. You want to see Calhoun get on track and be that dynamic, game-breaking player that we know him to be.
Loftis gives it to Waters. And he will set up a 3rd and short across the 28-yard line. Impact players for the Virginia defense, brought to you by Walmart.
Aaron Faumui is a guy that leads this defense in tackles for loss. He makes a lot of ruckus in the middle of that defense. And Cam Robinson, a guy that is coming on strong, young freshman linebacker. Coach Elliott told us don't talk about him too much because he wants to be able to keep this guy. He looks like the next great linebacker at the University of Virginia.
Leads all ACC freshmen in tackles. On 3rd and short, it's that linebacking crew that brings him down. Faumui got there first, and then James Jackson helped to finish him off. 4th down, and Duke will have to punt.
And right on cue, there he was in the middle of that defense. Let's look at that right there. Beats him with that swim move right off the rip. He had no chance. Got right in that backfield. The play was over before he started, and that is a tone setter for this Virginia defense. When you talk about a unit that is near the bottom of the ACC in total defense and scoring defense, they need a spark that could give it to them. Great play by Faumui.
Sudarian Harrison makes the fair catch call and brings it in at his own 24-yard line. Both teams go scoreless on their opening position. Trajectory, you can feel it around the football offices. You watch the game against Louisville 9 days ago, you see it. Anthony Colandrea is a big reason why. And the freshman scurries to the right and completes it for a short 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. Impact players for the Duke defense, Wes, brought to you by Walmart.
Well, when you look at Dwayne Carter in 2022, he had 11 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. Only 3 tackles for loss and a half a sack so far. You want to see him be able to step up. And then Trey Freeman is the Duke leader in tackles. He's having a big-time season. But coaches also told us that they wanted to see more consistency out of him. Tyler Santucci says 1 week he looks like an all-star, the next week not so much. So I'm sure he wants to come out and have a great game today.
Aeneas Peebles the stop for a loss of 1, and now it's 3rd and 7. Colandrea able to complete the pass across the sticks.
That was great effort right there. He went up and got that football. And early on in games, man, you want to check the temperature of your team. What are they thinking? What type of demeanor do they have? When you see those type of plays where a kid breaks a tackle, he goes up, makes a difficult catch, that lets you know that he wants it. This team looks like they are full of energy, ready to come out here and try to get a victory.
It's a tough catch by Ethan Davies.
Big time.
It's his first catch of the season. Keeps the change moving. Mike Hollins brought down in the secondary by Nick Morris Jr. And what a week it's been for Hollins. I mean, Tony Elliott calls him a walking miracle. Of course, he had a neck injury against Georgia Tech. Mike Hollins, great friends with Paris Jones. And here he still is making plays on the field. It's beyond belief.
If he did not have enough to play for already, I'm sure that he's out there playing for his teammate. Every yard that he gets is for him. And, man, can't say enough about this Virginia offensive line. They're coming out looking strong. The running backs are definitely paying them off with some big runs to start this football game.
Incomplete, looking for Davies again after the 15-yard rush from Hollins on the previous play.
Second catch a little bit harder than his first one. I see right there he had a little bit of traffic. Blades was sitting in the middle of that defense. He said, not today.
I tell you, Virginia appreciates the ref cam. The game-sealing interception against Carolina was confirmed thanks to the ref cam.
Yeah, man. This is a defense that is coming out certainly looking to make plays. That was a big-time play right there.
2nd and 10. Harrison in motion. They'll throw it to the slot where Harrison takes it inside the 40 and sets up 3rd down and 3.
That was a nice game right there. Got a little bit of a receiver screen, had a convoy in front of him, got some good yardage right there. Hey, with this young freshman quarterback, you want to stay ahead of the chains. They've got a nice 3rd and manageable for the young guy to see what he can do.
Tempo continues. 3rd down, pressure coming. Colandrea able to dive across the 35 for the 1st down.
There it is. That's what he can do right there. They call them AC plays when you talk to the Virginia coaching staff, and when you talk to Des Kitchings, the offensive coordinator, they call those AC plays, where he just does something that you don't expect. He can make something out of nothing, and that's what he did right there. Use those feet to be able to get a 1st down for the Wahoos.
Midway through this opening quarter, and Virginia is on the move. Four-man rush. Colandrea across the middle to Malik Washington to the end zone. Touchdown, Virginia.
I mean, that's what this kid is about. I talked to him on Friday, and I asked him, who are the receivers that you pattern your game after? He told me Steve Smith, Jarvis Landry. Why? Because they're yak guys, strong hands. We saw it right there. He wants to catch the football, and he looks to run like a running back and break tackles. You love a guy like that because you know one guy's not going to take him down. We saw it right there. I knew once he caught that in space, that first tackler was not going to bring him down. He took it to the house. 7 points for the Cavaliers.
Pettridge confirms the 7 points, 34-yard touchdown, and a historic catch. Malik Washington just became the all-time single-season yardage leader in Virginia history. And the freshman that threw it to him is fired up. 7-0, Wahoo!
Everything you don't want to believe.
And midway through the first, 7-zip. And there is a breeze, and Matt Ganyard will need to re-spot that football. His story has been well told this year. The oldest player in college football, 34 years of age, and he's still kicking for Virginia. Here on Heroes Appreciation Day, the Cobra helicopter pilot. And it's a short kick, and it's fielded at the 15. And Duke's second possession will start out near the 30. Back to the touchdown, Wes.
So last week, Louisville, they kept Malik ISO'd, and so they were able to get hands on him, jam him up, throw off the timing of their plays. Virginia's getting creative and moving him around, lined up pretty much in an H-back position right there. You can't get hands on him. He got a free release. He was able to find the middle of that defense, caught the football, and do what he does best, which is break tackles and make plays for Virginia. All this guy does is catch the football and score touchdowns. That's what they got right there.
What a job by the Virginia defense. James Jackson hanging on to Jordan Waters' ankle for 4 or 5 seconds there.
Man, when you pull your offensive lineman, what you want to do is you want to be able to clean up that other side, obviously, but Virginia was able to get penetration. The pulling offensive lineman didn't help him right there. Virginia made another great tackle in the run game.
Loftis completes it out across the 40. And Jordan Moore will move the chains for the Blue Devils. As a former offensive lineman, Wes, when you look at this Duke O-line with guys like Barton and Monk and kind of the foundation that they've built, what do you look for? What do you see?
I just look for gritty guys, and that's what they talked about all week, and that's been the MO of this team. This isn't a team that's going to be pampered like some of the big-time teams in college football. You have to get it out of the mud, so to speak, when you play for the Duke Blue Devils. So this group knows they are not going to be among the most talked about, and they know that they're just going to come out and do their job. And that's the life of an offensive lineman, man. Nobody's going to be talking about you. Nobody's going to give you all the credit. All your work is only going to be seen on the scoreboard and in the stats when you rack up those yards and those touchdowns.
Jordan Waters wrestled down by Paul Akire. Second down just across midfield here for the Duke offense. Mike Elko saying this Duke team deserves to be an 8-4 team playing in a higher level bowl. They're not a 6-6 team, just barely making a bowl, and it's their veterans' job to get them to that 8-win mark these next couple of weeks.
Jaquez Moore, to change the pace back, came in there, got a nice gain off that left side where Graham Barton and those guys live.
We've seen Jaquez Moore, Jordan Waters, Jaden Coleman has been playing more the past couple of weeks. On first down, Loftis flush to his left. And a little Riley Leonard impersonation as he uses his feet to the sideline.
He might not be as fast as Riley, but he used his speed right there to get himself out of trouble. And, hey, they didn't take a loss.
Riley Leonard is here. We saw him before the game. He had surgery on the toe this past week. He's got a little scooter that he's riding around on. There's Riley. It was so much fun watching him last year and early this year. It's unfortunate the injury that happened as we see Moore again down to the 36-yard line. This will set up third down and about 5 from 4-down territory for the Blue Devils. Kevin Johns got the play call in quickly, and Jordan Moore has the first inside the 25, 1st and 10 for Duke.
Simple slant right there. Loftis was decisive, found his receiver, got a nice little breaking of the tackle right there, and got a first down.
Very different game plan for Duke compared to the past 2 weeks against Wake and UNC when they were run heavy, trying to be a little more conservative. Mike Elko said we were more conservative than we want to be as a program. I think you're seeing them gaining confidence in the freshman Loftis, but the ball comes out, and the lost fumble will be recovered by Caleb Hardy, and Virginia will take over as Duke's drive halted by the turnover.
Virginia looking for anything to be able to get them going and keep them going after getting the touchdown. Now getting a fumble. All the momentum is on their side. Can they capitalize on this?
Duke's been so good with their ball control. Only 3 lost fumbles in their last 8 games. But our DirecTV Ref Cam, presented by DirecTV. Stop compromising, start watching, upgrade to DirecTV. Showcases the vantage point right in the trenches.
Jonas Sanker came in there, put a hat on the football, and that thing went flying. You know it's an odd shape. And the Virginia Cavaliers were able to recover.
Malik Washington is electric. That play began at the 15 and it ends out near the 45. It's a 29-yard gain, catch and run for Washington.
He may be a wide receiver, but he runs like a running back after he gets the football. How spectacular he is.
Already broke Dontavian Wicks's record for Virginia receiving yards in a season. He's on his way to passing Olamide Zaccheaus for most catches in a year. What a transfer he has been from Northwestern. And his teammate last year in Evanston, Jeremiah Lewis, on the Duke defense today. Man, he is slippery. He is speedy. 2nd down and 8. Colandrea play action. Dumps it off for Washington again. And he's met by Brandon Johnson and Trey Freeman that bring him down. Let's go back to the fumble, Wes.
You look at it, they try to get the football to Waters up the middle. There was the big-time freshman to get in there to make that play. Cam Robinson combined with Jonas Sanker, and they got some results on that one.
3rd down, Colandrea to the outside. It was a forward pass, and it's incomplete. And after the 29-yard gain on the opening play of the drive, Virginia stalls and will bring on the punt team.
Man, you hate that when you get a big turnover, the crowd's into it, the team is into it, and you're not able to capitalize on it. A little bit disappointing, but you can still play the field position game.
Second punt of the day for Sparks. Calhoun waiting at his 11, and it's a low line drive. Rolls out of bounds inside the 25. Short punt, though. Virginia up 7-0. Loftis back to the field next. Gales down on the sideline at Doak Campbell Stadium. So Duke retakes the field on offense. Grayson Loftis has not thrown an incompletion until now. And he had Samir Hagans wide open with no one downfield to stop him.
That's a play they're definitely going to want to get back. He was wide open. If they make that play, that could have been 6 points.
Flag is in the backfield. Let's check in with a white hat. Our referee today, Stuart Mullins.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
It wasn't 18, it was number 10, Ben Smiley. And Virginia fans don't love the call.
Defensive players, they've got it harder than ever right there. I mean, that didn't look that egregious, but the ref felt like it was. Penalty on the Cavaliers.
Landed his body weight on the freshman quarterback, Loftis. So strike that incompletion from the record, Wes. He's still 3 for 3. Jalen Coleman's first carry of the day is a good one. Out to the 49-yard line before Caleb Hardy brings him down.
And that's the third back. All of them bring something different to the table. Jalen Coleman brings that speed and explosiveness. You saw it right there.
Kevin John saying that Coleman's been the unsung hero. Hurt earlier in the year, but runs hard, runs with anger. He's got a speed gear that other guys may not have because he was a track star in high school.
No doubt about it, and he packs that in. Great size for a back as well. 6'1", 204 pounds. That's Sunday size right there, Evan.
Second down and short after the 9-yard run from Coleman on first. I think back to earlier this year, I mean, just a couple weeks ago for Loftis, back when the Dukes were here for Colandrea at his first start, just the level of confidence and poise we're seeing from these quarterbacks is different. They are settling in, but too much pressure that time. And Virginia's defense gets home. Michael Diatta brings down Loftis for the sack.
Too much pressure and too much coverage as well. You saw Loftis back there patting the football, getting up into the pocket, had plenty of time. Nobody was downfield, and he went down.
First sack of the year for the third year from Tennessee, Michael Diatta.
Virginia only 10 sacks on the year. That's last in the ACC, so they're glad to see the quarterback hit the turf with the ball still in his hands.
Duke's O-line's only allowed 14 sacks all season until that one. From 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 7, the screen pass won't get the first down as Coleman hit immediately by Jonas Sanker.
That was a great tackle right there. This Virginia team, not that great on 3rd down all season long. They've been pretty good today.
I've been impressed watching Sanker play defense this year. He's got the most solo tackles in the ACC, second in all of college football at the FBS level. He's a pretty good high school quarterback, too.
Yeah, he's a well-balanced player, 90 tackles, but he's got 8 pass breakups, too, so he can make plays in the pass game and against the run.
Returnable. Harrison breaks the tackle, and a flag flies late as we see the Duke tackle made by the tight end Jeremiah Hasley. 8 seconds left in the opening quarter. If this is a holding, it's going to bring Virginia back inside their own 20.
I mean, you know, on a punt return, it's either holding or blocking the back.
Tony Elliott waiting like the rest of us. We're ready for you, Stuart.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 5. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That will hamper the field position a little bit. But the ACC, one of the most storied conferences in all of college basketball, of course. Some of the country's top teams this December. CW courtside Saturday tips off with 14 weeks of doubleheader ACC action. It all begins 2 weeks from today, December 2nd, only on the CW. Notre Dame, Miami at noon, and then the second game of the doubleheader, Duke at Georgia Tech. Good to see Kyle Filipowski come back in the game after he got hurt in the first half last night, and Duke's win at home. Tony Bennett has a pretty good basketball team as well. As Virginia begins this drive with a carry off to the left for Kobe Pace. That'll be the final play of the first quarter. Only score so far, Wes, 34. More penalty yardage, taking advantage of the Duke turnover that would have probably produced points if not for the fumble. On second down, trying to set up Sackett Wood, the tight end screen, incomplete. A few minutes ago, Rebecca Fiorentino with Duke coach Mike Elko.
Well, Coach, you told me yesterday you wanted to see your team bounce back and come out hungry. What are you seeing from your team right now?
Yeah, I mean, I still think we got to settle down. We put some things together on offense. The fumble was a critical one. We gave up the sack on 2nd and 1. We can't do that. And then defensively, we just got to get it kind of situated a little bit, start executing a little bit better.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Blue Devils were second in FBS in turnover margin a year ago, Wes. They've not been as good in that department this year, but on third down, the defensive pressure gets home. R.J. Oben, the veteran DN from Jersey, brings down Colandrea in the backfield.
And I like him a lot. This is a guy, he doesn't have a ton of sacks, but he just flashes every time you see him. Very hard-working player getting to the quarterback.
This has been an issue at times this season, punting from their own end zone. See if Daniel Sparks can get this kick away cleanly.
So in other words, they need a spark, is what you're telling me.
I'm saying they need everyone else to do a good job blocking and not let Duke to get home for the second straight play and tie the game. They're not coming too heavy. And it's a much better kick this time from Sparks. Fair catch for Calhoun at his own 44-yard line.
Great field position for Duke to start this drive. Their best of the day so far. We'll see what they do with it.
Duke entering today was +3 in turnover margin for the season. Tied for 35th in the country, although they're in good company. Also +3 in turnover margin, the Georgia Bulldogs, the Alabama Crimson Tide, among others.
Yeah, and Duke has only lost a turnover battle just 3 times under Coach Elko. They really preach taking care of the football and getting the football from the other team.
Loftis with Waters in the backfield. And a seam for Jordan Waters. And he's tripped up just barely by Josh Ahern, who's had a crazy season from the linebacker spot for Virginia. Playing through the pain, Ahern just barely prevents a touchdown here.
This is the last guy you want to see get going. Graham Barton sealed that block. They got a great gain off of that side. And if Jordan Waters gets going, look out, folks.
Josh Ahern broke his wrist earlier this year. And he has come back to keep playing through it. On first down, short gain for Duke. Let's go down to Rebecca.
As you mentioned, Josh Ahern injured his wrist in their William and Mary game 5 weeks ago. Knowing this is his last go-around, naturally he wanted to play. So He received 2 1.5-inch pins in his wrists and put on a cast and has played for the last 3 weeks with those pins in. Well, this week he had surgery to get those pins out. You guys, these pins are bent, and no doubt as a linebacker you use your hands and wrist a ton for tackling. Imagine those in your wrist like a nail each time you take a hit or get a hit. I was told those are loose because now defensive coordinator John Rudzinski plans to frame those pins and keep them in his office. Talk about a guy that bleeds for Virginia football. He said these pins are an example of sacrifice and leadership.
Yeah, great stuff, Rebecca. It's an incredible story of toughness from Josh Ahern.
Yeah, no excuses from anybody else on that defense. I'll tell you that. He's making it hard for anybody to sit out with anything after he played with that.
He started at the Mike linebacker spot. He's also played in the Will spot, had an interception against BC, playing through the pain. 3rd down and 5 from what very well could be 4-down territory here for the Blue Devils. From the Virginia 39, Loftis completes it, and that'll be a 1st down for Jalen Calhoun. Marked out of bounds inside the 30 down to the 28.
J5 is what his teammates call him. I talked about it before. Almost 1,000 all-purpose yards last year. Not quite the season that they wanted out of him so far, but he makes a nice play to get him going in this football game.
This Duke football squad is just littered with veterans, guys who have played their 50th game already. Today's the 59th game of Jalen Calhoun's football career. That's not normal. The era we are in. Jaquez Moore changing direction inside the 15, and a flag flies.
Yeah, you're going to get a face mask right there. I saw that head turned as he got up through that hole. Jaquez Moore, also another one of those backs that provides a change of pace from Jordan Waters. And they're going to get an extra 15 tacked on to the end of this as well, Evan. So big play right here on this drive.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 18. Half the distance to the goal with an automatic. 1st down.
Yeah, I saw that as he was running. You saw that head take a little bit of a turn. The refs caught that one as well. Sometimes they miss those calls. The action is moving so fast, but fortunately for Duke, they did not.
All 4 penalties in the game so far have been called against Virginia. And that'll set up 1st and goal from the 7.
You can't afford to give the other team help. I know that's obvious advice right there, but when you're a team in Virginia's position, you can't give up those penalties like that.
Loftis to throw. Floating it to the back corner, and the contested contact catch. But it's ruled incomplete. Jalen Calhoun still thinks he had it. The officials will confer.
I think that's going to be overturned. That looked like a touchdown catch to me. We'll see on the replay, but it looked good to me. As we look at that, brings it in, gets the foot down. That's a touchdown. Oh, they might say he didn't have possession, though. That might be what gets it. Yeah, I don't think he fully established possession of the football until he was out of bounds.
Caleb Hardy, great job getting a hand in there, and you see the ball moving ever so slightly. Duke's extra point team is on the field, and we still haven't seen a touchdown signal.
Is under further review.
Now they apparently are calling it a touchdown, and now they're going to review it, but that's a big difference. They're reviewing it as a touchdown rather than as an incompletion.
Even though the ball was moving, it still looked like he had control. That was just my guess as to why they did not call it a touchdown.
We'll find out when we come back. And Todd Polino ties the game 7-all.
I think, too, what the referee saw was once the action got out of bounds, it looked like he didn't have possession, but he had possession when he caught it in play.
As close as it gets, it goes in the books as a touchdown for Calhoun, and we're tied 7-up.
everyone who hears these words of mine will be like a wise man.
Morning.
You don't have a choice. You got to be a morning person to play college football. It's a short kick, intentionally so, and fair caught. Hollins with a fair catch. Virginia offense back on the field. Tuesday on Inside the NFL. The guys take a look back at the Monday night showdown between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Plus they'll check in on the AFC North battle between the Browns and the Steelers. Inside the NFL Tuesday at 8/7 Central. Only on the CW. Rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Wes, who you got? Philly or KC on Monday night?
That's a great one, man. But I think the Chiefs, I mean, everybody's talking about they're down, but until somebody beats them, I don't believe it.
Really looking forward to that game. Monday evening with Joe and Troy. Anthony has room. We've seen him do this. Gaining confidence. The freshman from Florida with a huge gain to start this drive. Tumbling and bouncing right back up.
Nice call to spread them out to 4 wides. Get some space in there. And then Colandrea does the rest. Shows you the feet. Shows you the speed and that playmaking ability. AC doing what AC does. And then hops over the bench right there.
Give him a 7.5 for not so sticking the landing, but a 30-yard gain. And they keep it on the ground. Virginia on the march following Duke's touchdown drive. Again, putting pressure on the Duke defense by snapping it quickly. Malachi Fields gets the first catch of the game for the third year from Keswick, Virginia.
And you can't say enough about the way Virginia has come out. They have every reason to come out and not care as much, man. And they are out here playing like their lives depend on it.
Play action. Colandrea throwing deep. And it should have been intercepted, but a flag flies late. The ball goes through Stinson's hands. And Washington may have been interfered with.
Yeah, but you're going to get 2 penalties right here. Mike Hollins, you're going to get a hold there when he was trying to block the defensive player. So that's the first call you're going to see. So these will probably offset. Always checking out the trenches, Evan. So I saw Mike Hollins right there. Had a little bit of trouble. Had to drag the guy down.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Holding. Offense number 7. Pass interference. Defense number 3. The foul's offset. First down.
My man Wes Bryant is on top of everything.
Listen, man, that's tough right there. You had a chance to get 15, but the holding brings it back. Unfortunate for the Cavaliers. But that's a part of being a running back, man. You've got to be able to pass block as well.
Stinson probably thinks that he had his 4th career interception.
He did.
On his fingertips. Kobe Pace behind some pretty good pushing from the offensive line down to the 30. Aaron Hall makes the stop. Again, Virginia right back to the line of scrimmage. 30 seconds on the play clock to give to Pace again, and he's hammered. Vincent Anthony Jr. VJ with the stop.
You can see Virginia coming out here as well with an identity. This is a team that only averages 120 rushing yards per game. They're sticking with the run early, staying consistent with it. Hopefully it pays dividends later in this game.
Officials giving Duke a chance to substitute. Another quick snap on 3rd and short. And this one is going to be short. And an interesting decision here for Tony Elliott.
Jeremiah Lewis playing in the sandbox, folks. Coming down there. He's not a linebacker, but he certainly played like one. Came down there, made a big play for Duke.
Will Bettridge's season long has been 45, and he's going to try and better that right now.
Evan, these Virginia safeties only 5'11 and 5'8 between the 2 of them, but man, they love to stick their head in the action.
So Bettridge from 46 on 4th and 4, and he's got it.
Bet on Bettridge. He got that one.
Where's number 41 to honor his former high school teammate, Deshaun Perry?
this Monday. Don't miss Masters of Illusion at 9/8 Central.
Matt Ganyard, the 34-year-old kickoff specialist, is on the boot for Virginia from the 2-yard line. Out to about the 25 goes the Duke returner Jones.
Having friends over for the next game? Just tell Siri. Text Sam. Don't forget the pizza.
So the Blue Devils retake the field. Grayson Loftis engineered the touchdown drive, their last opportunity. How would you evaluate what you've seen from the Duke offense so far today?
Well, they've definitely gotten some help with some penalties, and not quite the start I'm sure they would want to have, but there's a lot of football left.
Another ball pops out. Hasley, did he have the catch? Virginia recovers, but it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass on the field.
I would agree with that. The action is fast and furious out there, but that looked like to me he didn't establish with a football move before that football came out. But we're going to see on the replay.
Wow. Sanker nearly forced his second fumble of the day. I wonder if they'll take a look at this.
Got to review it, though.
Really on the field of an incomplete pass is under further
catch,
review.
tuck. I think that's a fumble, Wes. The hometown kid, Jonas Sanker, may have just created another turnover. We'll find out after the break.
JP Morgan Wealth Management knows it's easy to get lost in investment.
Disagree with the call, which after review was incomplete pass, and Duke keeps the football.
Yeah, that was one of those that either way it was called, it was going to stand that way, and Virginia's looking for all the turnovers they can get. Only 11 they've gained so far this season.
Looked like maybe the second lost Duke fumble of the half. Instead, a mere incompletion, and Grayson Loftis and the Blue Devils offense lived to see another play. Jordan Waters with two hands on the football. A short gain on second down. It's been an impressive half so far for the Virginia defense. They're swarming. They're generating some pressure on Loftis. They're tackling well. Here's a big third down. Duke 3 of 4 so far today on third down. Loftis 6 of 7 near the sideline. It's incomplete.
You've got to come down with that football on third down. In a game like this, you're trying to get the lead back. That's unacceptable right there by Samir Hagans. Got to help out your young quarterback right there. I mean, maybe it was just a little bit too tall. I mean, they do say football is a game of inches.
Yeah, that was a tough catch. I think you're being hard on Samir there.
Hey, what do they say? You get your hands on it, you got to catch it.
That throw is tailing out of bounds a little bit. It's just the second incompletion for Loftis. And Duke's all-time leader in punt average, Porter Wilson, gets off another good one. But it's returnable for Sudarian Harrison. There's a couple flags on the field as Harrison changes direction, and he's taken out of bounds around the 47. There are 3 different flags on the field, Wes.
I mean, how many punt returns do you watch where there's not a penalty? It seems like almost every punt return in football games that you watch, there's going to be some laundry on the turf. It's going to be holding or blocking the back per usual.
It was 4th and 8.
He had something good going on that return, though.
And the flags didn't come out until after the ball was kicked.
So that's going to negate a nice gain there for Virginia. Put a dent in field position.
During the return, there are 2 fouls by the receiving team. Holding, that penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Let's go down to Rebecca.
Well, UVA students gathered for a moment of silence.
Would certainly love to be here with them, and so they're certainly going to play for them.
And literally on the 1-year anniversary of that senseless tragedy, Tony Elliott is on a Zoom with his veteran running back who's in the ICU in Louisville.
These kids deal with so much more. People just have no clue.
Another flag on the field as we see Kobe Pace carry the pile out to the 24. This will be the 6th accepted penalty on Virginia, more than likely.
Holding. Offense number 52. Half of this is to the goal. First down.
On the left tackle, Mikhail Boley.
Yeah, man, you don't want to see that. The big fellas don't want to see those holding penalties. Mikhail Boley, arguably Virginia's best offensive lineman, according to PFF, only allowed 1 sack in 383 reps.
Doesn't look like Tony loved the call. So half the distance to the goal. First and 19 from the 8 for Colandrea and the Cavaliers offense. And he's under pressure. And he's tackled inside the 5.
Oh, they were ready for that. You better believe it. Duke was not going to be fooled again by the quarterback draw. They get in there, tackle for loss.
Second sack of the year for Jamion Franklin.
Jamion Franklin and Trey McDonald said, let's play a game. Let's do this thing together. The big man, hey, when you see this guy down on the field, you can eat dinner off his back. It's so wide, okay? But the big man can move. He's got feet. You saw the athleticism right there.
You try to eat dinner off his back. Good luck getting all the food for yourself. Kobe Pace has a huge hole. And he picks up 20 to set up a very manageable 3rd down and 3.
Well, that's the way to come back from a penalty. Let's see what this flag is going to be.
It's a late flag here. Virginia fans are getting frustrated with the Zebras.
And then they throw it with decisiveness and then have to have these long conversations.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Offense number 26.
Oh, man.
To the goal. 3rd down.
Negates a 20-yard run from Pace.
Well, the football purists will say, what is happening to our beloved game when you can't crack back on a guy? But you can't do that anymore. And so they got a penalty for it. Negates a huge run that got Virginia back on schedule.
Ethan Davies at the bottom of your screen. That's not a lot. It's something, but it's not a lot.
Unfortunate, and the fans are letting them hear it right now. Referees aren't very popular in Charlottesville. I don't know if I'd go with any of these guys to dinner after the game.
Sure, they're nice guys, and they change their clothes, so you wouldn't necessarily know that you're referees.
If this thing doesn't go right, though, I don't know. Like I said, I'd let them go eat dinner before I went with them.
So instead of 3rd down and 3, if that 20-yard carry stood, 2nd down and 24 from the 4-yard line. Colandrea catching this snap in his own end zone. And this time Pace gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Man, those penalties just really hurt. Drive killers. Coaches hate them. Now look what happens. You just got a nice run, but this time Duke was ready for it. 3rd down, I probably would expect some type of run just to give the punter some more space.
Clock ticking towards 5 minutes to play here in this first half. And I'm with you, Wes. I'd be surprised to see Virginia let Colandrea hold the ball in his end zone here for a few seconds. They are going to throw it to his right. Under pressure, that might be holding in the end zone. Colandrea able to take it out to the 19, but there's another flag. The flag is currently at the 1-yard line. Obviously, holding in the end zone would be 2 points for Duke. Back to Stuart Mullins.
Holding. Offense number 55. Half the distance to the goal. Third down.
The laundry keeps coming for the Cavaliers. They can't seem to get out of their own way right now.
Elko's saying that he wants to decline the penalty if it's not a safety. And
oh, yeah.
That should be a safety.
Yeah, man, that's holding right there. He knew he was beat. He was trying to protect his quarterback. Gotta let him go.
How is that not a safety? Second time in as many weeks that he's had to make this argument. It was an illegal man downfield issue last week. 55 clearly has Aeneas Peebles by the jersey.
Elko saying, come on, man, that's a safety. What are you doing?
I mean, they should be getting a punt from the 20, and it should be 10-9. So as much as Virginia fans are frustrated with the officials, Duke has reason to be as well. It's a huge punt. And Duke fields it and brings it to the 30. Heck of a kick from Virginia's punter, Daniel Sparks. CW stands for Cozy Wednesdays, and this Wednesday is an all-new cozy episode of the CW's hit show, Sullivan's Crossing, based on the New York Times best-selling series, starring Morgan Cohan, Chad Michael Murray, and Scott Patterson. CW's Cozy Wednesday with Sullivan's Crossing starts this Wednesday at 8/7 Central. Catch up on all the episodes so far on the CW app.
Well, that music sounds quite wholesome, and I love cozy, man. It's getting to be that time of the year, a little crispy in the air. Get you a blanket.
57-yard punt, 5-yard return. Great to be up here on the booth, cozy with my guy Wes Bryant, Rebecca Fiorentino down on the sidelines. First game of a doubleheader today of ACC football on the CW. And man, like as frustrated as Virginia fans are with the officials, and for some extent they have reason to be. Duke should have 2 more points than they have right now.
Yeah, and the refereeing, man, it just seems like it's a thing across sports that it's just been kind of rough at times.
After a 3-yard gain from Jaquez Moore, Duke hands it off again, and Moore picks up the first down out to the 40. Dre Walker getting the start today in the Virginia secondary in the place of Cohen King, who's out with a dislocated elbow, making the tackle.
We'll see, though, Evan. I mean, there's the phrase, ball don't lie. We'll see if Duke is able to get points anyway right here to make up for what was lost and that tough call that they just had to deal with.
It was the 2-point conversion last week with the North Carolina offensive lineman literally hiding in the end zone.
2-point conversions have not been good to the Blue Devils.
Plenty of time for Duke. Clock ticking under 3 minutes. The give to Moore, the tackle in the backfield. That's the first year, Cam Robinson.
Nice play there. He gets into the backfield, and the rest of the Wahoos join in with him. And there he is, Cam Robinson, calling his name again, one of the best freshman defenders in all of the land.
Had the pick 6 last week in Louisville. By the way, the Cardinals clinched the spot in the ACC championship game earlier this afternoon with their win down at Miami. Through the fingertips of the leaping Duke receiver, Jordan Moore.
All right, Evan, I'm going to come back right here. You told me I was too harsh on the last guy. That was a bit high. That was an easy completion. He was standing there waiting, not able to have the football delivered to him. That should have been a first down for the Blue Devils right there.
He did have to throw it over Robinson, the linebacker, made it a little bit more of a difficult throw. Virginia fans, most of them on their feet. 3rd down and 12. Grayson Loftis zips it to a covered man, and And Jonas Sanker breaks it up, and a late flag comes in the backfield. And Virginia reacting like it might be on them. Aaron Famui looked at the official, and Duke was celebrating.
That was great coverage, too, right there by the Cavaliers. Loftis had to hold the ball for quite some time. Didn't necessarily get there to hit
After
him.
the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 94.
Another killer penalty.
An automatic, first down.
I mean, that was a tough call, and he is not happy about it at all. Got to get his composure back, get ready for the next play. But Virginia definitely sabotaging themselves.
Left side of the screen, number 94 kind of threw him down as the play was coming to an end. 8th accepted penalty of the half on Virginia. There have been some flags thrown on Duke, but they have been offsetting penalties, so officially no penalties for Duke in the first half as Jalen Coleman takes the care. I mean, that's the difference. Virginia getting the ball back, chance to go down the field in a 2-minute drill. Now all of a sudden Duke has an opportunity to potentially score here to close out the half. And remember, they deferred to the start, so Mike Elko's team is going to get the ball to start the second half too.
And penalties never come at a great time, but they've been coming at the worst time for Virginia. Could have had a safety right there, could have gotten off the football field on defense.
Back to Coleman. Only carried the ball 7 times in Duke's first 8 games, missed 3 of them with injury. Carried the ball 3 times against Wake, and 12 for 47 against UNC. Aaron Famui, perhaps some extracurricular stuff carrying over from the frustration on the previous play.
Sometimes when the big fellas get frustrated, man, they're hard to deal with. Oh man, you can't do that. Now see, that's some of the stuff that's plagued Virginia. You go back to the NC State game where they had penalties there that really hurt them, off personal fouls. Right there, that is just not keeping your head. He deserves every bit of that tongue lashing that he's getting. Why are you taking the flag and throwing it? That is ridiculous. That's losing football, Evan.
That wasn't the flag, it was his opponent's cleat.
Oh shoot, okay, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Regardless, anything on the field, you can't do stuff like that.
I think if he threw the flag, the officials would have seen it, but we have not seen a flag in the aftermath of the thrown cleat. NCAA cross-country championships were in town for Famui, like throwing a shot put out there. Coming up in the Subaru halftime report, North Alabama, Florida State preview with Tom Wormy and James Bates down in Tallahassee. Also go around the ACC, where earlier today Louisville clinched their first ever spot in the ACC football championship game. You know who was the coach of Louisville the last time they won a conference championship in football? The great Lee Corso.
Oh wow, throwback. Not so fast.
So it's 3rd and 1. Coleman did not get there.
Big play right there. A lot of penetration by the Virginia defense. Phenomenal effort.
Interesting decision here. You want to kind of let the time tick.
Famui right in the middle of the action too. Use the anger in a good way.
Virginia's going to take the timeout. It's kind of an in-between situation for both coaches with a time and down and distance situation. 4th and 1.
Look at Famui right there. I mean, he gets in there, gets on that inside shoulder of that guard, blows up the play. So he kind of got it back. I think the coaches will take that one. Got it back a little bit, Evan, just a little bit.
If you're Duke, you go for this right here, right?
No question. You're one of the best running teams in the country. This is one of those plays that if we can't get this, we don't deserve to be here.
Jordan Waters, characterized as a physical downhill runner. Fourth and 1 from the 38. Waters, first down. Picks up 2.
They got just enough because, Evan, I tell you, if it's one thing that drives me nuts watching football is when teams get in the shotgun to get short yardage. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But it worked for Duke right there.
And Mike Elko is going to use his first timeout. 1 minute to play in the second quarter. Duke will have a first down at the 36. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Opening score of the game, Colandrea to Washington. This reception set the single-season Virginia record for receiving yards. What a year it's been for Washington, the Northwestern transfer. And then the Virginia defense making something happen. Hardy's fumble recovery.
As I've said, they've been short on turnovers this year, so that was huge for them. And then Jalen Calhoun, the kids are patting their heads when they see him do that. That means I caught it over the top of you.
Initially ruled incomplete. They changed the call on the field. They reviewed it, called it a touchdown. Virginia got a season-long 46-yard field goal for Bettridge to break the tie. And running it on first down from the 36. Just a 1-yard pickup for Moore.
I think those are one of those plays that either your offensive line is just that big time, because I never understand the Wildcat, how teams just give up big plays in that. You know it's a run.
Todd Polino's season long is 52. From here it'd be about a 53-yarder. With the clock ticking, Loftis completes it down inside the 25. First down Duke from the 23. Clock stops to move the chains under 2 minutes in the half.
Jordan Moore showing he's a yak guy as well, man. He puts on the moves after he catches the football.
No need to clock it. Loftis back to the air. Completes another one to Hagens down to the 11. That will also stop the clock. Duke has plenty of time with 2 timeouts. Gets to the line quickly. Blue Devils looking to take the lead. 15 seconds in the half. Loftis incomplete. Broken up by Dre Walker.
That was a nice play. I wasn't sure if he was there a little early. I thought the laundry was about to come out yet again for a little pass interference.
In retrospect, Mike Elko might have wanted to use a timeout before that play. Save 10 seconds or so, because you got 2 timeouts now. You can throw it anywhere on the field.
Yeah, I think
you
they've
have
got
2, maybe 3 plays.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they have time for about 2 plays right here.
From the 11, with 11 seconds in the half. Loftis floats it, corner of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Hagens, but great coverage from Walker.
Walker again, he's going to do his seatbelt gesture. He stopped the play for the Virginia defense, tried to go up over the top again. It was not to be. Pretty decent ball there, but it would have had to be an even better catch with the defender on him.
Slight contact before the ball arrived, but Virginia fans would have rioted if that was called for pass interference. So with 5 seconds to go, Polino will try it from 29. And there was a timeout call. No, there wasn't. That's a good field goal to end the half. A couple of freshman quarterbacks getting an opportunity to make an early statement in their ACC football careers. Virginia kicks off to begin the second half, and from the 2-yard line, Kylan Walker takes it out across the 20-yard return. Pretty efficient first half for the 2 freshman quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think when you look at both guys, the biggest thing, no turnovers for either one of them. With a young guy, that's what you always want to see.
And the one mistake could be the difference in this game.
This is a tight one, man. 10-10. Like I said, Virginia's got to be very fortunate to be in this with those penalties. Duke with the turnover, able to overcome it.
Duke has dominated third quarters this year. They've outscored their opponents 63-19 in 10 third quarters. And a good start to this one. Completing it out to Hagens.
Definitely got to call Duke a second half team this season with what they've been able to do. You said it just now, allowing just 19 points in the third quarter as well. So this defense really starts to get going as well. So we'll see what they can do.
Blue Devils have not won here in Charlottesville in a decade. It was 2013, their last time driving back home to Charlottesville back to Durham from Charlottesville with a win. Second down carry will set up 3rd and 1 as Waters picks up a few. Early opportunity for the Virginia defense to win 3rd down and get Colandrea and the offense back onto the field.
Duke hasn't been great on 3rd downs, converting about 35% of those. Let's see what they do right here.
Waters alongside Loftis. The give, the hit, he's short.
Nicely done right there by this UVA defense, man. They have really come to play some football today.
Aaron Famuyi's been in the mix of a lot of stuff today.
I mean, hey, he might have lost his temper, but they like when he loses his temper on these plays. You love the swim move that he uses. I mean, that guard, he hasn't adjusted to that yet. Famuyi is swimming like Michael Phelps in there in the middle of that defense. Gets another big play.
So brings Porter Wilson onto the field. Mike Elko doesn't want to roll the dice on his own 30 early in a 10-10 game in the second half.
Olympic ready he is with that swimming, man.
Harrison back at his own 25, catches the 27, takes it to the 35, and a shoestring tackle made by Cameron Bergeron.
That was a great open field tackle. You see why Duke has put him on their special teams, because that one had a chance to get out of hand right there. Look at him coming down, fighting, gets him out of his way. Very nice tackle, because number 1 had a chance to be number 1 to these Virginia fans and take one to the house on a punt return.
Anthony Colandrea, originally committed to Middle Tennessee State, decommitted, chose to come to Virginia, wants to be a game changer for this program. And he's not a big guy, but he plays with a toughness about him, and he's quick, he's elusive, as you see, to start this second half.
I mean, he's gotten a lot of guys that have paved the way for the small quarterback, and he plays with the heart of a lion.
Another quick snap. Kobe Pace hitting the backfield, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, which was the 45.
Ryan Smith was ready for that one, coming off that edge, getting a nice TFL to start his second half.
What's it like to be an offensive lineman playing at a pace with what Virginia's doing today?
I don't know how they do it. I hated 2-minute drill when I was a player, and these guys play at the speed of light.
How'd you deal with it?
You just block. I didn't want to come out of the game. You got to stay in there and block.
Those extra sprints in the preseason help you get ready. Oh, goodness!
There it is.
Washington absolutely hammered by Freeman.
Tyler Santucci talked about Freeman and the player that he's been this year. Said he's been a little inconsistent at times, but he was consistent right there. Read that one, got out there in the flat, put a big lick on Malik Washington.
3rd and long. Colandrea buys time and hits Washington for the first down and much more.
Look at that right there. You talk about him admiring Steve Smith. That was very Steve Smith-esque. This guy's in the weight room. Did you see that, Evan? Look at him. Makes the catch. DB on his back. Get off of me, he says.
His 94th catch of the year, tying the Virginia record, looking to set the record to the end zone.
Look at that one.
It's not Washington, but Malachi Fields. 29-yard touchdown, Virginia.
I mean, Colandrea is starting to get into a rhythm, and that touchdown catch, Evan, was straight fire. Okay, when you talk about what he was able to do, makes the catch with the DB hanging all over him, it doesn't matter. Let's look at it right there. Colandrea puts the ball up there for him to go get.
Not bad coverage by Rivers, but a perfect throw from Colandrea.
And I mean, a receiver like that, 6'4", 220, you'd normally want to throw it up high, but he goes and gets it low.
Bettridge tacks on the extra point. Just like the first half, Virginia strikes first and builds the 7-point lead.
The best receiving duo you haven't heard of. First it was Malik, and now it's Malachi.
Third touchdown catch of the year for the third year, Malachi Fields. Des Kitchings talking about how much they like the one-on-one matchup on the perimeter with the big 6'4" Malachi Fields from his own 5-yard line. The Duke returner Kylan Walker, and a flag flies in late as Walker's taken down near the 30.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 85.
And the crowd goes wild.
They're like, finally.
First accepted penalty against Duke. Let's go down to the sidelines with Rebecca Fiorentino.
Well, head coach Tony Elliott told us yesterday that he's seen a tremendous amount of maturity and growth from his freshman quarterback. He's been pleased with Anthony's understanding of how to balance what makes him special and what it takes from him as a starting quarterback to manage an offense. Specifically, he's learned to make the play required, and sometimes the play required is a big explosive play like we saw, and sometimes the play required is to throw the ball away. Fair to say we've seen that growth here today, guys.
Yeah, well said, Rebecca. Thank you. 11 of 15 for Colandrea. Meanwhile, Loftis now 10 of 16. And it's a first down catch for Jordan Moore out to the 30. Spotted the 31. 16-yard gain takes Loftis over 100 yards passing today. Freshman from Gaffney, South Carolina, deflected, and it's incomplete. There's a flag in the backfield. Multiple Virginia defenders thought they had the interception.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty and an automatic. First down.
To add insult to injury when you think you have the pick, give the offense 15 more free yards.
Tony Elliott's face said it all. Yeah, he had contact to that head and neck area. They're going to call that one every single time. Chico Bennett, got to pull up, man.
Ninth penalty for 89 yards against Virginia. First down, Duke. It's Jaquez Moore. Kevin John said that Jaquez Moore has the best vision of anyone he's ever been around.
That is a big compliment because Duke has had its share of really good backs. And also notice how much they love to pull those big fellas, man. They love it. Those guys are coming around the corner. Beware, because there's some Mack trucks coming around on those edges for the Duke Blue Devils.
Five-yard pickup. Second, short 6. Play action. Loftis intercepted this time. Picked off by Caleb Hardy. His first of the year, and another flag flies in late. And now another flag soars in the air here in Charlottesville, but both flags after the pick. And it looks like the second interception of Loftis's Duke career.
These referees are getting gym reps as much as they are exercising those arms today, man. Those arms should be nice and bulky when they walk out of here as many times as they've had to throw penalties. I think that was one of those where Grayson didn't see him sitting over the middle right there. They confused him a little bit with that look. Threw it right over the middle, right to the defender.
After the interception, during the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, intercepting team number 92. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul, first down.
So the interception stands. The illegal blindside block will cost him some field position. A heck of a play from Hardy. one of the many first years that Tony Elliott's very excited about in this defense.
Sitting right there underneath. Nice job by the Virginia defense, confusing the young man. Trying to find that blind side block.
Yeah. Pace behind Colandrea, rolling right, slinging downfield. Malachi Fields into Duke territory.
I like it a lot. I mean, Eminem, that's what I'm going to call these guys. There's so many different flavors of Eminem. I would call Malachi, since they said he's pretty quiet, I'll call him the chocolate, the OG, and I'll call Malik the salty one because he plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Pretzel Eminem he is.
I like it. Can't wait to learn who's peanut butter.
That's my favorite.
Colandrea again completes it to Fields. Carrying Al Blades Jr. Doesn't want to go down. They stop forward progress at the 25.
And I like the plays off of the turnover. They're not sitting back. They're being aggressive. I love the way Virginia is attacking after they get this turnover. They want to go up 2 scores, and they're moving like it.
Colandrea now 13 for 17, 186. Pitches this one. Kobe Pace with room. Good block from Boley. And Pace down to the 7, where he's taken out of bounds by Jalen Stinson.
Put a little bit on the end of that run, young man. I like that right there. Just a little something to let them know you're not going down easy. Kobe Pace been running the football hard all day long.
Duke getting some fresh defensive linemen in there. Dwayne Carter, the 3-time captain, playing his 50th game for the Blue Devils today, back on the field. Virginia's having its way until now. Pace absolutely hammered by Anthony Nelson.
Got some extracurricular going on too, and I don't think the refs are going to throw a flag. Told you, Evan, I'm not going to dinner with any of these guys. These Virginia fans are heated. I think they should have gotten a personal foul right there.
So Nelson with a hit, plays over, and then a little shove.
He sold it a little bit.
A little flop from Ty Furnish.
Give the big man a break right there. Yeah, that was a big flop right there. Well, no doubt about it.
Flopping into Colandrea's ankle is what made it scary.
Cristiano Ronaldo would have been proud.
Second down. Pace. Able to power his way for a couple down to the 7. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Duke is second in the ACC in fewest points allowed off of turnovers. They've only given up 26 points all season off of turnovers. So it looks like Virginia is on the precipice of changing that with a nice drive.
In the open, you said astutely that Virginia's held a double-digit lead in 6 of their 10 games, trying to create another double-digit lead right here.
You think Tony Elliott's going to get nervous if they get a double-digit lead?
Probably. His coaches are always nervous, but they're also confident. To the end zone, what a play! Washington scores!
Listen, folks, talk about Keon Clark all you want to at Florida State. I'm putting my money on number 4 for Virginia as the best receiver in the ACC. This isn't a guy that's just putting up numbers on a losing team. He's got a complete game. You've seen him go over the middle now. You've seen him go over the top. He does it yet again. He's got a complete game, not to mention the yak he brings to the table. Malik Washington is all that.
3rd touchdown pass for Colandrea. 7 yards to Washington. Another record breaker for Malik. Malik Washington, the Northwestern transfer, has set the single-season record for Virginia receptions and receiving yards with his 2nd touchdown of the day.
You don't know the NFL.
Oh man, it's prime time. Let's go!
Until you see inside the NFL.
You have to win games like this. Something was just not right there.
I need some gum. Got out of gum.
Inside the NFL. This Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on the...
In his 5th career start, has thrown for a career high 3 touchdowns. interceptions so far, and Duke with a lot of work to do in the.
Oh no!
My goodness, what a day! That's the 11th penalty on Virginia, kicking it out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds, number 98, kicking team. By rule, the ball being placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Matt Gagner's going to avoid eye contact with Tony Elliott. He's just shaking his head. But how about Colandrea, the youngster?
Anthony Colandrea came into this game 11th among FBS freshmen in passing touchdowns. And listen, he attacks too. Coming into this game, 13.8 yards per completion. Doesn't qualify for the NCAA minimum for games played, but he would be second among ACC quarterbacks in that category. He'll attack you.
So from the 35-yard line, what's Grayson Loftis going to do? Looking deep down the sideline, and he connects with the veteran Jordan Moore. That's how to jumpstart a drive. Dre Walker in the coverage.
He's been his most dependable receiver today. Jordan Moore going up and getting the football for Duke, and they've got to score in a hurry and get a little bit of momentum back on their side.
From 135 to the other 32.
Guess who?
Back to Moore.
He's working towards a 100-yard day of his own.
2 straight first down completions, and just like that, Duke on the precipice of the red zone at the Virginia 22.
You got to answer this way right now. Virginia's got all the momentum. Uncle Mo is home at UVA with his feet on the couch.
Tell that to Grayson Loftis. Just throwing 2 nice balls. Jordan Waters stopped for no gain there. James Jackson has had a big day making plays for the Virginia defense.
Chico Bennett in there as well. He's got to be on the all-name team for college football as well, Chico.
He's the bandit.
And when is he a fan of Scarface? You know, Scarface always called people Chico.
Chico's dad served in the military for 2 decades, so he didn't live in one place very long growing up. Asked about his hometown, he said, well, he was born in Killeen, Texas, so we'll say that. There's some Texas blood in him. Back to Moore. Number 8 takes it inside the 20 down to about the 16.
Virginia was in off coverage right there. They just took advantage of it with a simple quick out. Good coverage going over there, or good chemistry, I should say, between Loftis and Moore. Maybe that'll open up some stuff for some of the other Duke receivers.
Wes, Duke is 0 for 4 on their last 4 third down attempts. They were 3 for 4. They're now 3 for 8. Here's 3rd down and 4 for Loftis and the Blue Devils. Grayson's pass broken up. Great anticipation by Josh Ahern. With or without the screws in his hand, he continues to make plays.
The hands are working very well. Again, coming into this football game, Virginia ranked near the bottom of the ACC in 3rd down defense. You said it, Evan. This defense is showing out tonight on 3rd down, making a big impact on this football game. Duke's now got to kick a field goal.
Could go forward on 4th and 4 and make it potentially a 1-score game, but instead a lot of time left. So it's Paulino cutting the deficit to 11. 4:23 to go in the 3rd. 24-13 Wahoos.
This Monday, don't miss Masters of Illusion at 9/8 Central on the...
Plenty of time. Going to send it deep. And Virginia will take it from the 25. A little over an hour away from Jordan Travis and the Seminoles, looking to get to 11-0 against North Alabama. Tom Wormy and James Bates will have the call. Trevor Scales down on the sideline. What a season he has had for Mike Norvell. Florida State, North Alabama, they both won their first national championship, Wes, 30 years ago, 1993. North Alabama, coached by a guy named Bobby, it was Bobby Wallace, led them to the D2 national title with a win over Indiana and Pennsylvania. And obviously Florida State won their first national title in 93. The FBS level with Bobby Bowden leading the way.
Evan, I do a weekly quarterback power poll on the ACC Digital Network. Travis has been #1 most of the season except for 1 week. Leads the nation in passer rating and 4th nationally in completion percentage against ranked opponents. He saves his best for the best teams.
Where's Anthony Colandrea going to be on this power poll this week?
It's going to be tough for him to make it at this point because most of the guys that are in there have been fairly consistent all year.
Let's see what Anthony has to say about that here on 2nd and 10. He's 15 for 20, 211, 3 touchdowns. He was playing high school football at this time last year. Kobe Pace has done a solid job in the backfield. Again, Virginia without Paris Jones, who suffered the spinal injury 9 days ago in Louisville. Had spinal surgery, was in the ICU for a week. Tony Elliott did travel down to Louisville on Tuesday afternoon to see him with the running backs coach Keith Gaither, Jim Ryan, the school president, Carla Williams, the AD. Paris, if you're out there, we're rooting for you. Hope you're enjoying Virginia's effort today, up 24-13. And that ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Peebles that got a piece of it.
All right, so if you're Virginia, what I want to see from them in this half, and especially now with this lead, they've got to continue to be aggressive, okay? You're a 2-8 football team. You can't afford to, not that they're being conservative just yet, but I want them to keep the same energy they had on that last drive and try to put Duke in a very, very bad predicament.
The second time today that Virginia goes 3 and out. Duke coming after him. There's no flag yet. And there will be no return for for Calhoun. And it'll be Duke ball at their own 31-yard line. Let's go down to Rebecca.
Well, as you guys mentioned, Paris Jones will need to stay in the hospital in Louisville to recover for the next several weeks. His father will be staying with him, but if you would like to send Paris a note or a card, they have the address here for you to send it to Charlottesville. The cards or whatever will be sent to Paris and his family. Our thoughts are with his family in Paris as they on the road to recovery.
And it just so happens that the Frazier Rehabilitation Institute is one of the nation's leading spinal damage centers. Duke on first down, completes it to Higgins to the 39, pickup of 8.
You see him going over that middle, lays out, helping his quarterback. That's how it's done.
Again across the middle, this time Calhoun breaking tackles all the way down to the 27-yard line before Ahern brings him down.
See, that's the special thing about J5 is that once you get him the football, he turns into a return man. Just get him the ball and he will make it happen.
Huge gain. Duke's in a hurry. Loftis running out of time and lives to see the next play and throws it away. 34 yards on the previous play to Calhoun.
Yeah, he's a guy that's been a big-time return specialist for the Blue Devils, especially in the punt return game, and you know how those guys are. You just get them the football in open space and just wait for the magic to happen. We saw it right there. I'm surprised they haven't been trying to work him into this football game a little bit more, but Jordan Moore is having a 100-yard day to this point. 2nd and 10. Calhoun motions out of the backfield. 4 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. And on the right side, Jordan Moore can't make the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the Virginia 28-yard line with 2:29 to play in this 3rd quarter. Went 5 wide right there. Little diamond formation on the left side right there. Duke said no cubic zirconiums in Durham, okay? Big 3rd down.
Jalen Coleman in the backfield. Loftis to throw. Setting up the screen, and Higgins is hammered.
They were ready for that one, the Virginia Cavaliers. Dre Walker was on the case. He put some pain on Jalen Calhoun, as you can see him right there trying to recover from that last play. but he sees the action. He sees those linemen getting out in space. He said, here comes a screen. Nobody saw Dre coming.
And he's down. Calhoun tried to pop back up, but now he's down on the field. A result of this hit from Walker.
Dre beats, they call him right there after you put a hit on somebody like that, huh?
Think about the impact of all the first-year guys on this Virginia roster. And yes, the transfers like Malik Washington, but we've seen Colandrea, Dre Walker, Caleb Hardy, Cam Robinson.
You got to be excited. That's a reason for optimism around here when you have the young guys out there and you see that they're making plays. It's got to get you excited, because if you're able to keep the guy in, keep the kids into the program, just imagine what they're going to be like once they hit that junior year.
Wes, when you were in college, were you one of those guys that had a different handshake for everybody on the team?
No handshakes we were doing back then. I did not have a handshake for anybody.
We've seen a lot of different styles for Virginia today. Paulino's back out there, going to try to make this an 8-point game.
I didn't like shaking hands when we lost either.
44-yard attempt from the right hash. Paulino missed it.
Stop right there by the Virginia defense. That's got to give a jolt of energy. That's almost as good as a turnover. And so if I'm Virginia right now, I'm going to come out and attack just like I did off of the last turnover that they got. Let Colandrea put the ball in the air. He looks like he's playing with a lot of poise, a lot of rhythm in this passing game. That's a huge miss right there, because Duke had a chance to continue to add on to the goodwill in this quarter. Man, just give him a pat on the head, jog on back to the sidelines. Use that for fuel for the next attempt that he'll have.
First miss for Paulino since September 30th.
And you didn't put the jinx on him either.
Are they trying to pass this? No, it'll be a run, and it's a good one. Kobe Pace out of the backfield on the backwards pass. Finally ushered out of bounds by Stinson. Noah Josie is hurt. Tried to go back to the line of scrimmage. He knows the pace that Tony Elliott wants to run. But the left guard, who started every game this year for Virginia, will get some attention.
You hate to see that. That offensive line, they've been playing a really, really good football game. You don't want to see any of these guys go out at this point.
We should mention on Heroes Appreciation Day the job that Kelly Pugh and her staff did last Thursday night in Louisville. And Tony Elliott and Des Kitchens and really everyone in Virginia was so grateful for what the Louisville staff did during, after, in the days after, helping Paris Jones in that really tough situation.
And that lets you know, competitors on the field, you want to get the best of the other, but when it comes down to these young men getting injured, everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants the best care. Everybody wants recovery. So kudos to them for the job that they did.
Tony said after the game, it's a difficult reality of the sport we play. Any play could end that way.
Any play.
Clock ticking. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Colandrea fakes the option, tries to tuck that football, and gets hit pretty good by Wesley Williams out near midfield.
What an exciting player. I mean, look at it. Gets on the outside
with a left hand.
That's what you pay money, man, to pay tickets, to come see plays like that, to come see a guy like this.
Pace looking for some daylight, won't find much, picks up maybe one. It'll be third down and a short 2.
He made the best of that one because there was a lot of penetration on that offensive line right there. So for them to get a positive gain.
Right back to the line. Pace did not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a half yard. And a decision for Tony Elliott here. 4th and 2 from midfield.
And surprising, as good as Duke's defense has been, they're also near the bottom of the league in opponents' third down conversions. But they were able to get a nice one right there, get a nice stop. Some decisions to be made.
Grady Brosterhouse is the backup quarterback today, is in the game. 6'2", 210. They're going to try to push this, or maybe just try to. No, they do snap it. They needed 2 full yards, and he's very close.
I don't think he got that.
According to the spot, the officials are right at the 48, and that's where he needed to go.
Everybody wants to be like the Eagles.
The only one for everyone. First play of the 4th quarter. Colandrea with elusive running, and he's brought down by Jeremiah Lewis. They did review the last play during the break, and the call on the field of a first down on the push of Brosterhouse was good. I still am not sure that he got it, Wes Bryant.
Yeah, when I looked at it live, and I think when you look at it on the replay right there, it doesn't look like they got it, but the ref said they did.
Virginia fans love this officiating crew. Despite the 10 penalties called against him. This is Mike Hollins with a hole. Hollins into the secondary, pushing Duke defenders down as he takes it all the way to the 20.
There it was, Brandon Johnson. Have a seat. Mike Hollins coming around that corner. Gets the seal, cuts it up inside, and then he starts to run very angry. Woo, that was a stiff arm of the Derrick Henry variety. That'll make the highlight reel right there.
Good block by the tight end, Sackett Wood, to help free up Hollins there for the gain of 22. And a whistle before the snap.
Full start. Offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Cavalier fans won't love that.
False starts on first down. I mean, it's just like, man. Doesn't get your drive started the way you want to, obviously.
I think that was Adam Mims down there, the coach of the receivers, saying, watch the ball.
That's what they always say when you get a false start. Watch the ball. It's a lot of weight down there. They're trying to keep steady.
Washington in motion, the give to Hollins. Every time Mike Hollins carries the ball, your mind goes back to what he's been through over the past 12 months, and it's just staggering to think about the guts that this guy has shown as a survivor.
What a great coach they have to lead them through this as well. And they also told us about all the great resources they provided for the players to be able to talk and help them get through this as well. They're doing a great job helping these young men deal with the adversity that they've been going through.
An opportunity for a potentially program-changing win today for Tony Elliott. So many close calls this year as that pass finds Wilson, making amends for his mistake. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 or 4.
I want to see him get that ball out just a little bit quicker.
On 3rd down, Hollins has the first down inside the 10.
I love the poise that Colandrea is playing with. Loftis is too. But, I mean, when you look at this young man, and again, I go back to the NC State game when he had very bad penalties that hurt his football team. He looks as poised as ever. He looks like a seasoned veteran right there, checking the football down to his back. Listen, you never lose when you check down to your backs. Hasn't turned the football over. This kid looks like a star in the making in Charlottesville.
He's managed the game really, really well, and that probably doesn't state enough how good he has been.
Managed and made plays,
yes,
all
indeed.
in one.
Pace in the flat to the right, inside the 5, pushed out by Lewis. They'll spot it right near the 4.
And this Virginia passing game is attacking all over the field. If you're the Duke defense right now, you don't know where it's coming from. Colandrea is hitting the flats. They're going over the middle. They're going over the top. They are rolling finely tuned machine this Virginia passing game has been today.
And Virginia coming together, it looks like something that used to be referred to as a huddle that you don't see much of in college football anymore.
They still do that, man.
Extra tight end of the game, Grant Mish and Sackett Wood both out there. Pace alongside Colandrea. Quick throw to Washington, and he is undercut. The ball comes loose, and they rule him down. The initial ruling, a completed pass, and he's down right around the line of scrimmage.
That is not putting your receiver in the best position right there. Duke was ready for that one. Gets it out there in the flat.
Whoa.
Read that one all the way.
Look how the ball gets kind of thrown. This is momentum.
Very instinctive play by Antonio Clary.
Third and goal. From the 4-yard line. Colandrea throwing again. Back of the end zone. Dropped. Oh. Fields had the touchdown in his hands.
They had a great call set up right there. Lots of action over there to the right side. Fields broke over the middle, made the safety have to make a decision. He got on the inside of him. Gotta make that play. If Virginia doesn't win this football game, they're gonna look back at this play right here. And excuse me, he got on the inside of the linebacker, Trey Freeman, it looked like. Man.
Colandrea hanging in there.
That's one you gotta have.
31-13 feels so different than 27-13. And yet, the field goal from Bettridge, 21 yards away, reestablishes the 14-point lead. 10-18 to go. Up 2 touchdowns. They'll enjoy hearing that Virginia Tech is down 3 touchdowns right now at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. 35-14, NC State leads late in the third. JMU is undefeated no longer. They just lost in overtime to App State. What a spectacle it was this morning in Harrisonburg. Duke will start this possession down 14 at their own 25. Looking for some laughs. The iconic improv comedy show is back for more games, songs, and all-around silly. Catch an all-new season of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central, and stream free the next day on the CW app. I love that Colin Mockery and Greg Proops, Ryan Stiles are still in our lives. Wayne Brady, those guys are awesome. Pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, second down.
When we talked about how this Virginia defense doesn't get enough sacks, they've got 11 to this point now. But when you're able to get a batted ball, not quite as good, but still keeps them in second and long, which is what you want.
Cam Robinson deflected the pass. Another play on his highlight reel.
He's had himself a game today.
Tight end Cole Finney in motion, the bottom of the screen. I beg your pardon, that wasn't Finney, that was Coleman. Complete across the middle from Mackay Wall. And Robinson playing through the pain, third down, clock ticking. Duke to the line quickly. Might be 4-down territory, Wes, we'll see. Loftis dropped again by Higgins.
That's about the third pass that he's thrown today that's been just a little bit too high for his receivers. There's a thing to putting the ball where only your receivers can get it, but he needs to bring that thing down just a little bit. I mean, that's an easy completion right there. Didn't have to throw it as high as he did. Put your team in a space where you got to complete a 4th and 4 now. This is a very pivotal play.
With 9:40 to go in the fourth quarter, Duke going for it from their own 31. 4th down and 4. Grayson Loftis completes it to Mackay Wall. Just the second catch of the year for the redshirt freshman from Greensboro. His first catch since the Lafayette game, moves the chains in a big spot.
What's cooler than cool? Ice cold, Evan. Okay, Grayson Loftis gets in there and completes it on 4th down. Gotta love it from your freshman.
Quick snap back to Hagans, and it's incomplete again. Another ball that Hagans gets his hands on, but Sam Westfall breaks it up. Talked a lot about first years today. How about the 6th year, Sam Westfall?
Starting to see some of those kids, that COVID era is going to be coming to an end soon. NC State's got a wide receiver that's in his 8th year. How you want to stay in college for 8 years is beyond me, but some people do.
Best time of your life. Stay in as long as you can, as far as I'm concerned. Nice little juke on the running play, and Jaquez Moore is still going. Jaquez Moore with a convoy in front of him scores.
This is why those possessions for Virginia were so important. Now we've got a game.
58-yard touchdown from Jaquez Moore, longest run of his season.
And they talked about the difference between the running backs. When we talked to Coach Kevin Johns.
Take a look at our ref cam presented by DirecTV. Johnny Forte rearing the cam today. Stop compromising, start watching, upgrade to DirecTV.
Huge play when Duke needed it the most. Coach Johns called Jaquez Moore their explosive back. He showed it right there.
Think about that. Virginia has a touchdown to go up 31-13. Have to kick the field goal. Duke has a 4th and 4 from their own 31. Feels like the game's on the line. And now all of a sudden it's a 7-point game. There's a ton of time to go here in Charlottesville. Duke back within 7.
This Friday, it's TV's premier showcase.
So much to this Virginia season. Only 2 wins, but so many opportunities. Another one here today as they'll take over with a 7-point lead, just over 9 to play. Tony Elliott with some words for his defense. Let's go down to Rebecca.
Well, after that touchdown and during that timeout, head coach Tony Elliott rallied his entire defense into one huddle. And he said, we're not doing that here today. Get that look out of your eyes. Do not let up. Let's finish the day. Strong words for his defense.
So many opportunities. James Madison, NC State, Boston College, Miami in overtime. Last week against Louisville, taking a lead. They're 2-8. You are what your record is. Opportunity here for Colandrea to answer that 58-yard run from Jaquez Moore. Colandrea looking for it all. Ethan Davies dropped it. It would have been a 50-yard completion.
And going back to Coach Elliott, that's the look of a man that's 1-5 in 1-score games. And then you see this opportunity right here squandered by the Virginia passing attack. That's 2 big drops now for Virginia when they had opportunities to really change some things in this game. This is the time to make moves. You see Colandrea right there.
Can't put a better ball than that on your receiver's hands.
He put a dot on him. You've got to catch that.
Davies hadn't got a lot of targets this year. This guy, on the other hand.
There you go. That's who you get the football to right there. Just went over 100 with that one.
Just an incredible season. It's his 9th time with over 100 yards receiving.
6 consecutive for him.
8 for 112 and 2 scores from Malik. Colandrea looking to run, protects the football, and picks up 6. On 2nd down, up the middle, near the marker. Let's see whether he picked it up. Gonna be 3rd and short. Right back to Pace. He's hitting the backfield. And a huge decision coming up for Tony Elliott. Do you punt it up 7 and trust your defense, or do you go for it on your own 49 on 4th and 1? A play after you were just stuffed. No hesitation from Tony.
I like it. I mean, what do they have to lose? You need to go for this. Let your team know that you have the confidence in them.
And the backup Brosterhouse is coming back in. We saw him convert the 4th and 2 from a very similar spot in the field.
Is the tush push the most unstoppable play in football right now?
Well, some teams run it right. Some teams struggle with it. They snap it. He goes. He got it.
He got that one. No doubt about it.
It's not like Brady's 6'5", 240 either.
He's the biggest quarterback that they have, though.
It's true. Jalen Hurts would be proud.
He definitely would. Colandrea, they just don't like that size. Him trying to do that at 5'11", 180, hasn't been in the weight room enough, hadn't eaten enough steak to be able to get that thing up
all the
in there.
talk is about the other Kelsey brother, but Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles, deserves more credit than he gets for that play being as good as it is.
Not only that, taking on all that weight when everybody's pushing him.
Everyone just wants to talk about his future sister-in-law. I don't understand it. Maybe. That play didn't gain very much. We'll run more time off the clock.
If you're Virginia, certainly the obvious thing right here, at least a field goal, but you want to score a touchdown right here. Take some time off of the clock. They're marching towards doing that at the moment.
Shout out to the Virginia center, Brian Stevens, who's been at right guard this year, started his college career at Dayton. The center has a very important job setting the tone for that push play too. Colandrea zips it down the field. Huge hit on Sudarian Harrison, and he pops right back up. First down, Virginia.
Shout out to Coach Des Kitchings, too, for the game that he's calling today. And this Virginia offensive line, this Duke defense, we know how vaunted they've been.
Speaking of that vaunted defense, Hollins hammered Dorian Mausi, who's missed a couple games, back in the lineup for Duke today, making plays for the defense. Obviously, if you're Virginia, you want to run clock. You want to get some points here. Touchdown would be great. Field goal would be huge. Not in field goal range yet, though. 2nd and 12. Complete short. Harrison again. Got great speed. Harrison all the way inside the 20.
Harrison, another guy. Looking good on those returns. Just get him the football and let him work, and that's what they did right there. Told you, Virginia, the way they've been attacking in the passing game from all angles, you're getting screens, you're getting balls down the field. Duke does not know what's coming. They're keeping them on their toes right now with the way that they're choosing to attack them through the air.
Mentioned Bettridge, the kicker, earlier, wearing number 41 to honor Deshaun Perry. Sudarian Harrison, same high school as Liddell Davis Jr., wears number 1 to honor Lavelle. On first down inside the 20, change in direction and pace, able to find a little daylight, barreling down to the 14.
That's a nice way to make something out of nothing right there. And Virginia on the day, going back to that passing attack, they've got 8 plays now today of over 15-plus yards. Tony Elliott talked about how he wanted to see more explosion from his team. He's getting it.
Mike Elko calls the timeout, stops the clock with 4 minutes to go. Well, this should be a happy Scott Stadium right now. Virginia's up 7 with the ball with 4 minutes to go, but right after we went to break, it looked like one of the Virginia offensive linemen just went down, and we did not see exactly what happened other than that Virginia medical personnel came onto the field, and Mikhail Boley, the left tackle, not a contact situation from what we saw. But, man, another scary scene involving a University of Virginia player in an intense moment in this football game, Wes Bryant.
They look like they are working towards getting him up right there, but he's arguably Virginia's best offensive lineman. You hope this isn't too serious for the Cavaliers.
And again, the timeout was taken. He was totally fine. I mean, obviously wasn't totally fine, but from our vantage point, there was nothing unusual. Another week for Virginia. And, man, McHale, second year from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
All right, it sounds like he is up. He's okay. They're going to help him off. So that's the negative. But the positive is they're able to get him up. And it looks like he's walking okay.
He played a good amount of football last year. He's the second Cavalier true freshman ever to start a season opener at tackle, along with a guy who's made a little bit of money in the NFL, DeBrigashaw Ferguson.
Virginia does have a good lineage of offensive linemen.
Yep.
He looks like he could be the next in line. Hope the big fella's okay and he can come back.
So it looks like Jimmy Christ is into the game at left tackle. And Kobe Pace on second down doesn't gain anything. And Mike Elko charges on to take another timeout. Using his timeouts early, he's anticipating that at best Duke's going to get the ball back down by 10.
No safeties coming downhill again. Jalen Stinson was in on the action that time. But Virginia's got an opportunity to put this football game maybe not out of reach, but make it very hard to reach.
Timeout taken with 3:53 to go here. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the hour, down in Tallahassee, Jordan Travis and the 10-0 Florida State Seminoles look to keep it rolling against the North Alabama Lions. Senior day in Tallahassee. They got a tough one, Gainesville, next week, and now they know who their ACC championship game opponent is going to be. In Charlotte, that'll be the Louisville Cardinals at Bank of America Stadium 2 weeks from tonight.
And if they get to the college football playoffs, they're going to earn their way there. That Louisville matchup's going to be tremendous. Louisville's really good up front on both sides of the ball, explosive in the run game. Jack Plummer, he's in my ACCD in quarterback power poll. He's been there all year, too.
You got to find a spot for Anthony Colandrea with what he's done today. 21 for 30, 278, 3 scores. They give it to Pace on third down, and he's unable to break it all the way for the first down. Elko uses his final timeout. Pace a little slow to get up.
Tackle on 66 yards rushing, too, for Colandrea as well.
And this is not good news. Pace, that left ankle bothering him. Ball spotted at the 13. It's going to be a 31-yard field goal try for Bettridge to try to make it a 10-point game with 3:48 left.
It's a big kick coming up right here
for both teams, obviously. And look, for this Duke team, I mean, they were ranked as high as 17th in the AP poll. They had a lead on Florida State. Seminoles strong, close to that game at Tallahassee, gets done. Then Riley Leonard's hurt. The Louisville game was ugly. Mike Elko wanted to turn the page from that one quick. They were outplayed by Wake Forest. I think everyone agrees, but they found a way to win, which is a tribute to the Blue Devils football team and their guts.
But this has been new territory for the Duke Blue Devils. You saw the schedule preseason. You saw how tough it was for them. And I think each week has just taken a pound of flesh. It's going to do that anyway. But when you're playing high-quality competition week in and week out, as Duke has, you're going to see what you've seen from them as far as some of the injuries they've had.
I had a Duke fan that said to me earlier this week, the entire season can be summed up with one play, 4th and 16. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, and Duke fans as well. Sam Hartman for Notre Dame scampering for the first down. If they stop him there, then maybe Riley doesn't get hurt, and maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda. We live in a reality that is far different from what it could have been, but it's a 10-point game here with 3:43 to go as Colandrea leads the Cavaliers down the field, and Bettridge knocks it through the uprights.
A first child can be stressful. So to make things a little less overwhelming...
Ask of the freshman QB.
And they need to score not now, but right now when they get this football back.
Ganyard kicked one out of bounds earlier. There's a much better kick here. And that is his first touchback of the day. It's a good one. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Colandrea has thrown the ball around. His dynamic duo, Fields and Washington, have been two frequent targets.
Yeah, he's definitely been taking advantage of his great receivers. And then Caleb Hardy right there hiding in the middle of that defense. And then he peekabooed, got the interception. And then Malik Washington right there, the stud on this Virginia offense.
With a blocker in front, into the Virginia bench.
Whoa. Took a shot once he got over there. They didn't get him down on the field, but he took a bump on the sideline.
Jalen Coleman like running into a bee's nest head on over there. Right back to work. Again, Coleman. Not nearly the same gain this time. James Jackson will get credit for the tackle.
Kind of like what you've seen from Loftis today as well, too. He's played with a lot of poise, too. He's got a great future ahead of him.
Yeah. Think about the fumble and the interception have both been costly for Duke. Fumble wasn't Loftis' fault. Another softball, but it might have been bobbled.
Yeah,
and it's incomplete.
That one. They're going to have to.
It's been an issue for Hagans.
As the coaches would say, rep that again. They're going to have to go back and rep it again like practice. Yeah, he went down. Yeah, that ball comes out pretty clear. I'm shocked he didn't try to sell it. You know, a lot of receivers, man, they try to sell that thing.
All day long, Wes, the Virginia fans here at Scott Stadium have brought tremendous energy. You would not think this was a 2-8 football team. There's great passion here in Charlottesville. Just trying to get some of it in third down, and it looks like he may get all of it, and he does.
That was a nice move by him to catch that. He's been doing it all day long. Gets the football in his hands and makes at least one guy miss every time.
Jordan Murr had his jersey ripped in the process, but who cares? Pressure coming. Loftis able to get rid of it. And you know what? An incomplete pass there is better than a completion for 1 yard.
But Virginia getting to the quarterback. Coach Rudd, I thought that was interesting. Coach Rosinsky, the defensive coordinator, John Rosinsky to be exact, said that they don't count sacks in their room. They just want to be able to disrupt the offense, but they don't necessarily place a big emphasis on sacks.
Clock stop, 2:42 to go. Moore in motion. Loftis looking. Zips it for another Duke first down. Complete to the 40. First catch of the day for John Tavis Robertson.
Working that middle of the field.
First catch for Robertson since week 2 against Lafayette. Loftis again. Hits wall. Duke down inside the 30. Moving the chains. Hurrying to the line. The clock ticking. Duke needs 2 scores. They're out of timeouts. They did successfully convert an onside kick last week. It's one of those ones you might just want to drop it. I don't know if the 5 yards is better than the time that's going off the clock.
Well, he might just want the stat.
I understand. Wall only caught 1 ball all year before today. He's been targeted 4 times. On second down, Loftis pass batted down by Aaron Famui.
He has had a massive game. He may have to run on Monday for that penalty, but certainly he's going to get some rewards for the game that he's played. Comes around there, I can't get to the quarterback. Let me get my hands up. That's the next best thing. Getting his Dikembe Mutombo on right there with the block.
We've talked about the different tributes to the lost Virginia football players. Aaron Famui named his son Saint Deshaun Famui. Middle name after Deshaun Perry.
Gotta love it.
Third down. Loftis completes it.
And he bobbled that thing a little bit. Almost looked like he was about to drop it, but he comes through and holds on.
Loftis hit as he throws. Hagans down to the 10. First and goal. Clock ticks again as they set the chain. Loftis floats it to the end zone. No flag. Second down.
he must have one of the best verticals on the team, because they are certainly trying to throw him the football and get it up there. Hagan's only 5'10", 185, man, but he puts that ball up there and lets him attempt to go and get it.
If you're Duke here, you really don't want to complete a pass that's not either out of bounds or to the end zone. Out of timeouts, down 10. Loftis floats it out the back. 1:25 remaining. Now, if they don't convert on third down, they can't kick the field goal and save some time if they can recover the onside kick.
That's a thought for sure. You do that, take your chances. Ideally, I would think they would like to score right here to make that last drive, if they're able to get an onside. Make it so they don't have to get so many points.
Loftis likely to throw the ball here for the 44th time today. A year ago, he was playing at Gaffney High School in South Carolina. To the end zone. It is incomplete, but the flag flies.
Gotta turn that head around if you're the defensive back. I don't know why more guys don't do that. A defensive back, when you see the eyes of that receiver start to get big and see him starting to make a little bit more commotion, you've got to turn around for that football.
Defense, number 7. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line with an automatic first down.
I mean, if you turn around right there, that could be an interception and really close this game. But instead, he chooses the face guard and makes this drive a little bit easier on Duke.
Intended for Nicky Dalmolin, the tight end. Again, you don't want to get tackled in the field of play without a timeout, so expect this to be a throw or maybe a quarterback run from Loftis. To his right, pressure coming, touchdown Duke. Blue Devils are still alive with 1:13 to go. Mekhi Wall with his first career touchdown.
Nice play right there. Got trips to your right. He breaks to the outside. That was a nice design there. Caused confusion among the DBs. Gets the catch out in the flat. He's had a nice drive.
So on for the extra point, Todd Polino, to make it a 3-point game, and then the onside kick will be the even bigger play. 30-27, 73 seconds left. Duke converted an onside kick when they didn't expect it last week. This one will be tougher.
And this is going to be an action-packed last 1:13. It's going to be tough, though, with no timeouts. But again, you love the play call right there to free up the receiver to make a catch to give his team a chance.
ACC football on the CW is brought to you by the Subaru Share the Love event, now through January 2nd. You know, Riley Leonard would love to get an opportunity to retake the field. He is out of commission right now, had surgery. Mike Elko said he's questionable for the bowl game. Tony Elliott's team, they know they're not going to a bowl game this year, but man, this win would feel good. And they've got a rivalry game next week, a game that was canceled last year against the Hokies, who are getting their butts kicked today at Lane Stadium by former Cavalier Brennan Armstrong. Big day for Brennan.
Got to keep them motivated, man. All of these remaining regular season games are their bowl games. They can come up with a bowl game name for each one. I mean, I don't know how creative he could get with it, especially with some of the brands that you have out there, but that's what I would do.
No T. Charlie Ham. Onside kick for Duke. And Virginia's got it.
I think that should do it right there.
His first ACC win here at Scott Stadium as coach of the University of Virginia.
I mean, their first home win against an ACC opponent since 2021, and Duke's losing streak at Scott Stadium continues. Haven't won here since 2013.
Anthony Colandrea, one of the leaders of this effort, the freshman from Lakewood High School in St. Petersburg, Florida. He enrolled this past January, and he has been a revelation in relief of the injured Tony Muskett.
Virginia's got to be excited about what you've seen from this kid. I mean, he's shown you the maturity and the poise that he's acquired, that he's acquired throughout this season. Looks like it came full circle today. What a tremendous prospect he is for them.
One more kneel down will finish the job. Calandria takes the knee, and Virginia has its third win of the season as Tony Elliott will trot off the